Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your pal Flix here, and today we're going over a lot. We're going over romances and gameplay impacts in Night City and what it means for Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, as always, if you enjoy this, make sure to like button and subscribe for more daily, top quality content. Alright, obviously, we're going to get into romances eventually. The question was just when, and it just so happened that it would fall on this faithful day. Totally haven't been putting this off. So, back in 2019, when asked about romances, the Cyberpunk 2077 team said, and I quote, I don't joke in quotes anymore, romance is a big part of gameplay. You can romance other characters, and it's up to you how deep those relations are. Unlike Geralt, you can define, Geralt as in The Witcher 3's main protagonist, you can define V's own sexuality and sexual orientation. Other NPCs and characters already have preset preferences though. So obviously romance is playing a larger, much bigger role than just, I'm with this person. Cool, bro. Let me see those animations in a fade to black screen. It has an actual impact on your gameplay, which means it's very important who you actually choose to romance, with its own advantages and disadvantages, which we'll get into in a bit. The second part of V getting to choose their own sexuality and orientation. That's cool, no? Actually, I just realized we're up to 4% females watching these videos. I'm impressed. You know what? That was like 0.5% a couple months back. We've improved. We've improved. Quick question of the century, since we got some new people here. What life path are you planning to go for your first playthrough? I'm going corporal because guess what? That actually impacts your romance options. We'll get back into that. That would have been such a good transition, but I missed out. So yeah, you could choose male romances, female, or something in between, I suppose, because they'll have their own preferences. Each individual character that you can romance has their own preferences. Now, not all romances impact gameplay or story or opens up new things to do, because there's two types. There's the one-night stands, like we opened with in the 48-minute demo. I believe in both the Life Paths trailer and the Styles trailer, we had that we'll call it that girl that went on the table in a suggestive way, I guess, in a unique way, so YouTube doesn't get mad at me, okay? Those are pretty much just an animation that plays and has no real impact other than making a living, breathing world, I suppose. And then you got the more meaningful, helpful interactions, mutually beneficial. Well, obviously more beneficial to you than them. Obviously your dialogue options matter with the possible romantic companions, because companions in GF and BF instead of an actual person that goes around with you. Because as we've said in past videos, those videos that people have said that they've allowed them to ascend to kingdom, but how good they were. By the way, I've heard that they also cure all the world's issues. I'm not one to call those people liars, alright? But yeah, in past videos we've went through companions and why there aren't any permanent companions in Cyberpunk 2077. Click that I in the top right. You should definitely click it, check them out, and subscribe, obviously, because why wouldn't you? But yeah, it's not just dialogue. Life path also matters for some of them. Well, it makes sense for life path to matter when it makes sense for the life path to matter. Let's go with Stout. That's a good example. We have to give examples so people can understand. Let's go with Stout because she should be the easiest to explain. So Meredith Stout is a higher up-ish in Militech. I'd consider her like middle management of Militech. Her character generally looks down on pretty much everyone. You can see that when how she treated Anthony Gilchrist, the guy that she thought leaked information to Maelstrom, which I believe he did, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that someday. So she looks down on everyone, but especially people from the streets. So would it make sense for her to get together with, say, someone from a street kid life path? On the other hand, it's more likely she'd get with a former corpo agent, right? Just, the hierarchy of Night City, right? So many people don't know this, but after Night City Wire 3, we actually heard from the Cyberpunk 2077 team that they had actually shown all possible romance options at that point. So sadly, that guy dancing with the Styles trailer, he ain't one of the romance options, bruh. That's as ghetto as I am ever getting. I really tried that. Some people were actually hoping it was. Now, while we don't actually know all of the romance options, As in, we've seen them, but we don't actually know them. We'll get into that in a bit. Also, we know the three main life paths. Each of them have their one, like one for themselves. Mare the Stout, obviously for the corpos. Judy Alvarez, the brain dance lady in Lizzie's bar. Street Kid, the unnamed Alder. I swear it's not Alder Condos because there's no R. I always write it with an R. Alder Condos. Oh shoot, we just got it. I have to mute that word out. But wow, we've gotten it after like 4 or 5 we've gotten it after like 4 or 5 videos. Wow. All the condos. Okay. I'm so proud of myself. I'm literally just gonna take a moment, just pat myself on the back. How many videos did it take? Alright, so back on track. The unnamed Alda Condos lady for Nomads. We don't know her name yet, but we've seen her a lot. We've actually seen her the most. Out of all the romances. So I believe that the romances might actually have some sort of quest line for each character. Because here, let me explain why. We saw V and the Nomad lady driving around in one scene, drinking together, etc. Just generally going on a date, I guess. Oh, I should also mention that you obviously can't date a digital construct, though. They've confirmed in the past that no, you can't date Silverhand. Why? He's not an actual person, dude. Okay, that just doesn't make sense, and it would probably ruin some parts of the story, I'm assuming. Now, while those three are the only confirmed ones, really, we know that the romance characters aren't random people, right? They stand out, would have a quest line with them, so we can start going through and seeing who probably is one of the romance options. Including, guys, don't worry, my 4% female audience. I got you. I'm proud of you. I'm really... If you manage to stick through all my jokes, I can't believe that. So this isn't anywhere near a complete list. I'd honestly put a lot more of the characters we saw in the Factions trailer, like the Valentino's Bandana Man or one of those ladies dancing in the 6th Street trailer, because, you know, it'd give more impact to the little 6th Street Valentino's beef, but we don't honestly know who those characters even are, which is why they're not going in here. Even though we've seen all the romance options, it's kept pretty vague so that we don't really know. Like some we might have seen like in the background of a scene could count as one of them, right? Anyways, what I came up with was Anthony Gilchrist, Evelyn, and Dum Dum. Anthony Gilchrist because him and Stout are pretty much interchangeable. And with Militech being such a large faction, and with every other romance character having their own like sexual preset, as in a guy might only like girls or something else, not going into that anymore. Let's not make people awkward, okay? It wouldn't make sense to really lock away such a romance. For example, Stout, let's say Stout only dates guys, so a female is left out. There's Gilchrist in there, kind of bridge that gap, so anyone might have the option. It just seems like it'd make more sense because of how interchangeable Gilchrist and Stout are right now. But I believe that's not always going to be the case. I don't want to get into that today, though. But think Fallout New Vegas if you've ever played it. I think I've just spoiled. Think the Brotherhood of Steel in the Fallout New Vegas series. If you've ever played it, I think I just spoiled part of it. The second being Evelyn. This is just because we've seen Evelyn in so many scenes. That would make sense because her job was really just to... it wouldn't really make sense. We've seen Evelyn in so many scenes that it wouldn't just make sense for her job to only be like, hey, I record the brain dance. Give me a cut from the heist. You do have the option of doing the final prologue mission for her instead of Dex, the heist mission. But we see her in so many scenes, so it's either there's a bit of misdirection with marketing here in her actual how much she actually appears in the story, because compared to Dex, we've barely seen Dex. Like we've seen Dex like only a couple of times, but we've seen Evelyn so many times. Or it's either a misdirection by marketing or she's a bigger character. I wouldn't hold it. I would hold it against marketing for a bit that big of a misdirection. The last is Dum Dum, because Dum Dum, unlike the other Maelstrom Borgs, actually gave off that likable feel. Even dropped a couple funny quotes. I was like, hey, that guy seems like a buddy when I was watching it. And he's the only named Borg, other than the two leaders, the locked up one and the guy that gets popped, aka Royce. I forgot what the locked up leader's name was. Not gonna make a cut just to Google that. Sorry about that. But once again, those are 3 confirmed and 3 likely romance options. I mean, the thing about Dum Dum also is, why is he a named character, right? That's also another thing that I don't really get off him. Like, why would he be a named character unless he'd have some sort of impact? Like, Royce is named, right? And Royce is big bad. So obviously a couple more, and those like 3 confirmed and 3 likely. But they fall in that gray area of just we haven't seen them enough to call it if they were like a romance character or not. Even Gilchrist, I'm scratching about that just because we only saw him twice ever, when he's being interrogated by Stout, and then when he replaces Stout. By the way, I'm pretty sure I wrote interrogated wrong. That's why I said it wrong. I wrote it as interrogated. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Get ready for me to jump around a million words here, by the way. It's not my fault. YouTube gets mad if you say some stuff, so for no K loads in game option, as in where nothing mode, they actually answered that back in 2019 saying full no K loads will still be in the game. Of course it will be. Replace the K loads with NUD, add the last letter in, okay? I mean, the game's rated M, so don't expect any actual scenes with no K loads mode. Well, any descriptive scenes, we could say. It's a game, okay? It's not a simulator, okay? If there's modding support, you could probably get a mod for that. I mean, who am I kidding? If there's mod support, you're definitely getting a mod for that. Look at Skyrim. Oh my god, look at this. Skyrim's the worst offender, though, compared to everything else. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why, but Skyrim's just like horrendous for those types of mods. Oh my god, they're even like at the top. It's like, because I go through let's go through the top mods and just pick out the ones I want, just because, you know, if it's the top mod, then it's obviously had some effort put into it. Not always. I have actually got some I guess we're going on to modding a bit, but it's fine, we're near the end of the video. So I've actually gone on and got new mods in some instances, but in some instances I've actually gone and got new mods, like the mods that have just came out, but those have been like pretty unique times where I saw a mod and I was like, yeah, I need to have this. A good example would be there's a mod called Near Death for Fallout New Vegas, which is really like when like people can actually drop down and, like, you know, bleed out and stuff, which was like, you know, cool. Oh, cool. I really wanted that. I actually got it when it first came out. I was like 20 or something endorses, and I was like, oh, you know what? I want to check that out. It seems like a cool thing to have, and yeah, it's actually pretty popular now. You know, I've never actually endorsed a mod. I feel kind of bad now. I should probably start doing that someday. Maybe I'll have like 200, 300. I don't know. What am I saying? 300. Skyrim has 200 mods, and Fallout New Vegas probably has like 500 mods all merged together. You know what? I'll actually show you guys how to merge mods. If that mod support actually does pretty decent and actually goes on Nexus. So in case you missed the question of the day earlier, what life path are you going for and why? Also, like and subscribe, obviously, since you made it this far, which means you liked the video, which means subscribe for more videos like this one that you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy it, then honestly, I salute you, bro. I salute you, or gal, for making it this far, somehow. Anyways, peace, ladies and gentlemen. Stay amazing. Alright, post outro. I'm honestly super surprised that we've got 4% female audience. That's pretty surprising. I gotta be honest with you. Now my intro my intro makes sense when I say, yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is what my life has built up to. The day that my intro will reign true. Anyways, the game's coming out in like 24 days now. Bro, where's the marketing? I would have expected like a trailer a week now, like a trailer every single week or something, or, you know, just an announcement about the final Night City Wire. I'm guessing it's the final Night City Wire unless it continues after the game launches. So at that point, actually, there is a point. You could show off DLC materials, I guess. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, dude, marketing is like, what happened, marketing? Where's the deal? First of all, we're closer than a month, right? We're 24 days to launch. And they promised months before launch we would get DLC talk. Where is it? Where's the expansion talk? Where is it? It's like, what is going on, dude? What is going on? I'm not even mad about that. I'm just mad, like, we're not getting anything, you know? You know, they forced me to make a video about romance. I mean, I have 24 videos ready. I have 24 topics to do. But I want new content. I'm like a junkie now. I'm an entitled junkie, dude. Anyways, peace. How long was the video? Not even bad. We're gonna end up hitting like 15 minutes. Not bad.